Welcome, y'all. How you feeling? Yeah, I should hope so, right? Hope y'all. I mean, if you're coming in here with a bad vibe, hopefully we can fix that for you. Welcome to the New Orleans Jazz Museum, and on behalf of the staff, everyone here, thanks for supporting live local music. And I appreciate our little moment earlier with the feedback. This audience here, y'all are incredible for that. We're gonna take it into account. But up next, we have an incredible, inspirational musician. I'm always very inspired by her poise and her proficiency as a musician, as a leader, a showman. We have just an incredible person who came down from upstate New York and has become kind of a, yeah, exactly. They had a whole little New Yorker moment earlier. She was here, and the cameraman was from New York, and the sound man is from Long Island. And it was like, oh yeah, y'all talk it out. But anyway, an incredible musician with an incredible band, y'all. Miss Carmela Rappazzo, y'all. Give her a hand.
What are you talking about, New York? Good afternoon. This is actually a New York tune. I wrote this song about a man who just couldn't stay away from a woman, and every time he was around her, he ended up in jail. It's a longer story, but you'll have to catch it another time. Ready? One, two, His story is a woman. He just can't let her go. The love they have is fleeting. With her, you never know. There's just something about her. He must go back for more. The old do not disturb sign goes back upon the door. The telephone rings, it's her beckoning. She whispers her tune. Hello, hello, honeymoon. This cavalier detachment, a front for all to see. He hungers for that phone call, obsessing endlessly. We all might know somebody, or maybe it's yourself. It's on again and off again, while life waits on the shelf. A fait accompli, the world misery. The heart lies in ruin. Hello, hello, honeymoon. Thank you. This is Scott Johnson. Don't tell anybody he plays the baritone sax. Don't y'all be calling him to do gigs. He's the king of reeds, though. He's a great player. Let's thank him again. And while we're at it, this is Chris Barros Hagas on the cello. This is Eric Merchant on guitar, and Matt Booth on the bass. I don't even want to say the word I'm about to say, but last year we had a hurricane named Ida, and we stayed for it and lived without electricity. It was August. It was hot for 8 days, and during that period I wrote some tunes, and then a great songwriter, singer, songwriter, performer from New Orleans named Paul Sanchez, who I was lucky enough to meet as the first person I met in New Orleans. I send him a tune, he sends it back to me 35 seconds later as a real tune. And this is one of them. It's called Whispering. Another secret superpower. Soon enough, the wind goes fierce, then the next sound drawing near. Ancestors you once held dear, whispering. Might be time to understand, best to leave while you still can. The universe might have a plan, it's been a whispering. Through the night you pray for dawn, wind is not your only storm. You endured while you were born, so carry on, carry on. Consequences of a life on the edge and full of strife, to the bone with your own knife, still whispering. Weather's not your only storm. You ignored, although forewarned. So carry on, carry on. Consequences of a life on the edge and full of strife, to the bone with your own knife. Still whispering, still whispering, still whispering. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is an amazing song by Cole Porter that I love singing over and over and over again. You've probably, if you know me, you've heard me sing it. so bear with me, but it's called So in Love. And by the way, there's a bunch of CDs here. If y'all want them, just take them. They're free for the, not even asking, you can just sidle up and grab them. So this is So in Love. So, tango-esque. Strange, dear, but true, dear. When Thank you so much. This next tune is one of mine. It's about a woman who lives in the woods in New England, who knew my husband really well, who never left the woods pretty much, and had a relationship with nature that was really important to her, and especially with the owls. And she once told my husband that she knew all the owls and they knew her in the woods. And I was really moved by that. So this song is called Owls, and it's about Noreen Hartley. You all know Noreen. She knew the owls just by their voices. They knew her footsteps through the woods. Each had a sound that was familiar. Each always felt misunderstood. Darkness, she too possessed that sense of sight. The other instinct shared in common. When they were startled, both took flight. At night she'd walk the back roads, the seasons through the years. We never had much conversation. Those owls won't let you near. So they tell me she never misunderstood. Thank you so much. We had, there was this guy in town who owned a club called Chikiwawa. And to make a very long story short, he was the kind of guy you love to hate, who loved to hate us all too. And when he passed, not from COVID, but during the COVID period, a songwriter named Alex McMurray, who is a really prolific and great songwriter in New Orleans, wrote this tune, and he sent it around to all of us, and I'm stealing it from Alex. Dale had wanted to be an actor, and this is, for me, this is about Dale. Do I need to count this, or are you good? Okay. Let's see. Taking off your eyebrows again. You're checking out, but you won't say when. I can't tell you what I'll miss the most when you ride that train out to the coast. I feel like I've just seen a ghost. You take the makeup off your face. The mustache goes back in its case. Now here's the one that no one sees, the blackbird broken in the breeze. And now you're turning in your keys. The actor prepares, and he sets out the chairs, turns the lights on with care. It's soft as a prayer. The actor begins. Now he's under your skin, and the room starts to spin, and no one is in. When the star of a one-man show shuts it down and he hits the road, he will leave one lonely light upon that stage to keep it bright, and I can hear it here tonight. Prepares, and he sets out the chairs, turns the lights on with care. It's soft as a prayer. The actor begins. Now he's under your skin. Feel the light pouring in, and the room start to spin. The actor prepares. Maybe there's nobody there, but he don't seem to care. Thank you so much. So, speaking of one of those guys, I mentioned Paul Sanchez and how he puts up enough with me to co-write some tunes. But he wrote this tune called Empty Chair that he was generous enough to let me record. And he just so happens to be here. So I think he should come up and join us. This is Paul Sanchez. I think this song meant something originally when it was written that was different than what it means for me. I always used to sing it for my friend Margaret, who was my closest friend who passed. And then the pandemic happened, and now we sing it for many people. But this is an amazing song called Empty Chair. Do you want to trade first?
Yeah, you do the first one.
Okay. Yes, it was planned.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yes, band shirts. I was going to wear polka dots. I still think of things I think you'd like to know. In the morning when I read my paper, just before I realize what I thought was hanging in the air is here in an empty chair. Here in an empty chair.
I still laugh out loud at things you used to say. Sometimes in the middle of a moment or a day, then realize what I thought was hanging in the air was here in an empty chair. Here in an empty chair.
Everything's in place, but the past has been erased. Nothing is the same that I can see.
That I can see.
And I don't
But the past has been erased, and nothing is the same that I can see.
I don't understand why we're not holding hands. A second slip away from me.
And it's funny, but I don't cry at night. Only in the morning when we say goodbye, and I realize what I thought was hanging in the air was here in an empty chair. Here in an empty chair.
Paul Sanchez. I just realized that we're doing a lot of like very mellow tunes, and I know it's afternoon and maybe you want to be marching around the quarter, but you know, it's a mellow day. It's not that hot, it's not that cold, we're having really good weather, and there's nothing weird headed towards us that we know of. This is a song about a reluctant bride, and again, it's way too long a story to tell you how this song evolved, but I will tell you that it had something to do with internet spam. And then you can fill in the blanks. Are we happy? Okay, we're happy. One. As she lay out on the ground, Ursula heard the earth breathe and sigh. Through her hands in the grass, she could feel its pulse. Birds overhead flew high. Wedding guests mounting steps watched as Ursula chose to remain outside. Dressed in lace in this place, she has peace of mind, a moment so sublime, something they'll never find. Make her conform. She couldn't care less. They wore their finery. She a grass-stained dress, a grass-stained dress. She's like the beauty of dawn. Spirit cannot be tamed on her wedding day. He loves Ursula. She'll never change on their wedding day. Here comes the bride, all dressed in white. Thank you so much. So, I don't know how many of y'all are from New Orleans. I see faces that I know and love in the audience. If you're visiting, welcome home. We hope you'll enjoy yourselves here. And for the faces in the audience that I know and love well, who always ask me to sing this song, this is called Skylark. See, you heard the approval. Skylark, have you anything to say to me? Won't you tell me where my love could be? Is there a meadow in the mist where someone's waiting to be kissed? Oh, Skylark, have you seen a valley green with spring, where my heart can go a-journeying over the shadows in the rain to a blossom-covered lane? And in your lonely flight, haven't you heard the music in the night? Wonderful music, faint as the will-o'-the-wisp, crazy as a loon, sad as a gypsy, serenading moon. Oh, Skylark, I don't know if you can find these things, but my heart is riding on your wings. So if you see them anywhere, won't you lead Thank you so much. We have time for a few more. Let's skip Broken Hearted Artist because it's a downer. It's a good downer, and you'll hear it soon, but it's a downer. Can we do the country tune just for the heck of it? It's extra in your folders. So I mentioned that everybody here has a kind of secret superpower, and they don't want me to tell you what it is. And I don't have any secret superpowers, but I have a secret thing for country music. So I did grow up in a jazz household, covering jazz standards, listening to jazz records, started singing in jazz bands when I was really young. But this is a country tune, and I can't help myself. I have to do it for y'all. It's called Everyday Person. And they weren't planning on it, so they have to have a little band meeting. So country. There wasn't much special about her. Couldn't pick her face out in a crowd. If there was some dream she had been wanting, never bothered to say it out loud. Didn't notice her off in the distance. Never stopped people dead in their tracks. If she left, there would be no resistance. Never acted all fancy like that. No, you won't hear of change in the future. There's no magical thing never bothered to say it out loud. No, you won't hear of change in the future. There's no magical thinking in store. She was just an everyday person and content not to be one thing more, and content not to be one thing more. But it's the Jazz Museum, y'all. Speaking of which, I would, from the bottom of my heart, like to thank the New Orleans Jazz Museum for having me back again. This building, this institution, you want to really support this place. This is an amazing place with great exhibits. And I'd like to thank Greg Lambusi for having me, but Aidan Adler for making this happen. He's in the back. And Danny and Travis, the amazing sound people that run this place, they ruin your life for every club in New Orleans because the sound is so good here, and then everywhere else it's not. And I'd like to thank you all for coming today and bearing with me as I strayed away from my normal jazz roots. And I would also really like to thank my husband for putting up with me through all these years. It's been a long road he's had with a jazz chick singer. I'd like to leave you all with a little lullaby that I always close pretty much every gig that I do with. It's called Sweet Sleep. And although I know you're not going to, well, you might go have a big meal and then a siesta. But this is just a really mellow little tune that you can hum to yourselves when you do lay your head down on the pillow tonight. And again, please take CDs. They are the bane of my existence now. And I have another one coming out soon, so I love to torture myself. Again, thanks to y'all. Oh, and Chris Barros-Haggis, Eric Merchant, Matt Booth. They play everywhere in town. You can catch them probably tonight somewhere. I'm Carmela Rappazzo, and sweet sleep. If sleep is sweet, then meet me there. I'll find you in a dream. We'll catch the moon and swing on high and wish on stars serene. Across the clouds we'll soar and dance. A nightbird chorus sings. The treetops turn to steal a glance of our nighttime romance. For those of us who live in dreams, build castles in the air and hold our secrets deep inside that we're too shy to share. In fairy tales, a waking kiss brings happy evermore. Yet I prefer the sweet state bliss my dreams will have in store. Thank you.